So very common question I get is, Sanjeev, can you do an end-to-end DevOps pipeline? So while the question is valid, there are end-to-end pipelines, but usually for a some sort of customer who are very mature in their DevOps practices. So somebody like Netflix, Google sort of companies may have, even they may not have, but may have end-to-end pipelines. But in reality, what you see in the industry, 99.9% of the companies, there is nothing like an end-to-end pipeline. There are bunch of pipelines in the company that they use for various reasons. So they may have a pipeline to, for example, creating the infrastructure in the company. So they are creating infrastructure for a specific application. Now that infrastructure will use some sort of base Docker image, will probably use some sort of base AMI, you can say that. So there will be a different pipeline to create the AMIs and the Docker image. So that becomes a different set of different repository maybe, and then a different pipeline to create those outputs. So that output will be stored in your AWS account as an AMI or as an Docker image in your ECR repository, and then the subsequent pipeline will pick it up and deploy the infrastructure. Similarly, there is usually a developer's pipeline where there will be security codes on RQ. Products will be embedded, and those sort of pipelines will create an artifact. In high maturity clients, there will be a CD pipeline that will take over from there. But in most of the companies, you will see there is a CI pipeline which will produce the artifact, which could be a binary file or a Docker image, and then there will be a deployment pipeline which will deploy to different staging, non-prod and prod environments. Those are these some of the CI/CD pipelines that we talk about. Then there are usually data pipelines. You will have pipeline to read data from different sources, do some sort of assessment, do some sort of massaging of the data, transformation of data. So ETL pipelines basically. So they will read from different sources, produce a meaningful output reports for your company. They are sort of data pipelines. And then maybe if the company wants to have a different DevSecOps pipeline, then DevSecOps pipelines can be there. Similarly, there could be an overarching pipelines which is nothing but controlling any 2 or 3 such pipelines. So there will be an image created first, then a CI process, and then a CD process, and then there is a release pipeline on top of it, which will control all these pipelines. So no need to be very specific of building a complete end-to-end pipeline. Just focus on small pieces that are there. Understand why those small pieces are built. Just like a car assembly, there is no such master nut and bolt which will work everywhere. There will be small pieces. You will have to join them together, and then a good reusable car or some product can be built. So same concept here as well. There is no fixed standard gold-plated DevOps pipeline in the industry. There are different varieties of pipelines. There are different level of integrations and possible, and a lot depends on the maturity of the customers, their requirements as well. Somebody like Facebook, Google, or Netflix may have to release very frequently a few things. So they will have sort of stable pipelines, but somebody who are doing not doing very frequent releases, they will have these disjointed pipelines, which will be stable in their own space, and it will be easy to use them when you want to apply those pipelines. So just focus on these individual pipelines. What I'm doing is I'm conducting a webinar on 1st of July. What I'm offering in that is I'm trying to make these pipelines, individual pipelines, slightly complex by making sure that you are following some good practices. So I will be presenting a sort of specification document in that webinar, which you can take and you can build in your free time and come back and present to the community. So the link is in the description of this video. You can take a look at that and see if you can join that webinar. Thanks. Bye.